world. The weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
Hello and welcome to Country with Celine. My name is Celine Schmarky and I will be your host this evening. And today we are joined by another talent from South Carolina. Now she's in Nashville, Teresa Guidry.
I wanna live two lives, blaze a trail, be your wife. I wanna hold your hand, bottle Tahitian sand, run the streets of Spain, stand in the London rain. I feel it every time that we kiss. Part of me wants this, but part of me wants Paris.
Teresa, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm still new to this Zoom thing, but it's fun. I'm excited to have a little interview with you today.
You know, side note, they're coming out with this new technology where you can watch a Zoom, and you know how like most of us are dressed from like the top up. We wear like our suits, a nice top. Where the bottom, it's either we're wearing shorts or sweatpants.
I have sweatpants on right now.
Exactly, me too. Me too. Don't worry. But now they're coming out with this like hologram, so they can see you fully. So if you stand up, they'll be able to like see like a hologram, like see which like everything. Isn't that weird?
Really weird.
The Google's coming out with this. Yeah, so strange. But okay, let's get straight to it, Teresa. First things first, you released your latest single, Paris. What is the story behind it? Take us through the whole process of the song.
So I wrote Paris like a few years back now. I feel like maybe even 4 or 5. So it's been a while, but it was just kind of a time in my life where I was really struggling with kind of that like early 20s, like itch to kind of just be your own person and be alone. But at the time I was with a really good guy. So it was just kind of came from this struggle of being in the crossroads of like having a perfect man and not wanting to let him go just for like selfish reasons, but also just having this like gut feeling that makes you want to like run off to Europe for 2 months and do whatever you want. Obviously, you know, that can't work in most healthy relationships. So at that time I was really struggling with that. And so I wrote that with a girlfriend, Lydia Vaughn. She's a great writer in Nashville as well. She actually just got signed to a publishing deal. But we wrote that together in my apartment, and it was just one of those songs that I had in my pocket for a long time. Like obviously it's been 4 or 5 years now, but it's so visual and I really connected with it. So it was just one that I knew eventually I wanted to release, but I just wanted to do it the right way and produce it with someone I really wanted to work with and get the music video out. And so I had a long time to kind of search for people that I thought would be a good fit for the production and for the video. And I feel like it came out really well and I was really proud of it. And yeah, it was kind of just like the build up to it. It took a long time, but it was worth the wait.
Wanna buy some land, wanna build a house with a picket fence and a couple kids in a small town. Wanna backpack through Italy, wanna drink some wine on the hillside of Tuscany. It's perfect, I know it, but he'd have me homesick. My heart is torn in two, don't wanna choose. I wanna live too.
Well, everything happens for a reason, and there was a reason why you released the song this year rather than 4 years back. You wanted to get it all ready, you want to finalize it, you want to perfect it, as artists probably and definitely will want to do. And now it came out, and it could connect with a lot of people. Like usually you hear sad songs and like breakup songs or like songs about a guy cheating, a girl cheating, like along those lines, but you never actually hear songs with the meaning of having a really good guy but kind of wanting to be by yourself at the same time, not because he did anything wrong, but because you, like you said, you're in your 20s, you kind of want to discover yourself, go out and see the world, like, because there's so much the world has to offer too, but it's just hard. I understand that fully, trust me. But yeah, I love that song. I really do, Teresa. That was a really awesome song. And now the music video for that got featured on CMT. Now, is that like a really big deal for you? I feel like that's yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, just no. It was like when I got the email, like I cried a little bit. Like, not gonna lie, like me and one of my girlfriends just went on like a 6-mile hike, and we stopped at this restaurant and just got some lunch at the bar, and we were just sitting there eating, and I pulled up my email, and I was like, and I just started screaming, and she's like, what? Look, same. And so no, it was a huge deal. And I've been in Nashville for about 7 years now, and that was definitely something on my like goals and my bucket list, and just something I always dreamed about. And so like to actually be able to go to cmt.com and like see my name under the videos, like it was just like a surreal moment. Yeah, for sure, a big deal. Definitely not trying to play it cool on that one. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like CMT, for a lot of artists, like having a song released on that platform is just like, oh my gosh, like you dreamt of it when you were a kid, and now like eventually it's like actually coming true. But I'm sure there's gonna be so many more like accomplishments and milestones that you are gonna reach. You gotta put it out into the universe, and the universe shall give you everything you wish for back. So what's next in store for you? What do you want to accomplish by the end of 2021? Yes.
Well, it's been it's just getting back into that time where I'm being able to get out and play shows again, because this last year, for a time being, it was kind of nice to take a little break, but after a while that just gets really old because you're not like fulfilling anything that you want to do. So right now in this moment, I'm just starting to like get shows back on my roster and like starting to book different gigs and getting back into co-writes with people in person, not on like Zoom. And I would love to get back in the studio before the end of the year, but right now, Paris is fairly new, so I'm still kind of like, I have some goals for it that I'm still trying to push for. So right now I'm still kind of riding that little train, because it was a lot of work to build up, and I'm like, it happens so fast. You're like, it's out, what now? But no, I have a lot of things I still want to do with that, but I'd love to get back in the studio this year. I'd love to just play as many shows as I can and get out there and hang out with people and just start doing what I love again. So
have you ever played other than the States? Like, have you ever played in like Canada or like in Europe?
No, but I want to. Like, there was a time being where I was like, maybe I should like try to book a European tour, because I've had a few friends go over there and do that and play the like C2C festival. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but like it's a bunch of country artists from Nashville, and they go over to like London, and because there's a giant like country music fan base over in Europe, surprisingly. And so like I would love to make an excuse to go to Europe to play music. That would be amazing. And so, no, I haven't, but I would love to. I actually have a girlfriend that was on The Voice with me, who lives in Canada, and we stay in touch a good bit, and we've talked about me getting up there and playing some shows with her. So I would love that. I've always wanted to come to Canada. It's gorgeous.
Which part of Canada? Which province?
I think she's in Montreal.
Oh, okay. It's Quebec. That's right next to Ontario. Yeah, you should come up here one time when it's like all normal. You should definitely come. It's
I would love that.
Yeah. But speaking of The Voice, I was gonna touch on this. You were on Team Blake. Okay, how is Blake? Let's get the details. Like, how is your relationship with Blake?
Blake is kind of just, you see what you get what you see. It's kind of that thing where it's like, for some reason, out of all the coaches, because I got to meet all of them at that time, I was like not intimidated by him at all, because he kind of just has this like laid back, like fun uncle vibe. Like he definitely has something in his cup at all times. And he just made it super like not intimidating. And like, honestly, you don't spend that much time with them because it's all filmed when you are with them. And so it's like, it's not like you get to, okay, that was terrifying.
What was that? That sounded like an Annabelle scene.
I have a music box sitting behind there. I've never even touched it. Like, someone gave it to me because it has a Paris thing on it. It just started playing by itself.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. It has Paris on it. Maybe that's like a sign that you're gonna go to Europe.
Okay. Let's hope it's that, and it's not haunted. I've literally never even heard it play before. My fiance even made a joke when someone gave it to me. He was like, "What if this starts playing in the middle of the night?"
So now it has.
Woo! That was scary.
It's okay. I forgot now where we're on. Oh, Blake. Blake. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Sorry, really just threw me off.
I know.
No, he was great. I mean, like, we don't get to spend that much time with him, honestly, but I will say the time I did get to spend with him, he was really like nice and made it really comfortable to be around. And he had a lot of good advice. And, but you know, it is one of those things where it's a very heavily produced show. So it's like, you don't get to spend, I think people think you get to spend a lot more time with them than you actually do. So it's just kind of one of those things.
I've heard that from a lot of people, a lot of artists, like when they've told me, yeah, I've been on The Voice or American Idol, it is not like what you see it as. It is not. Like, we think like the viewers, oh, they're buddy, they're like so close, this, that. It's totally different. But I want to ask, what was your biggest takeaway from that experience of being on The Voice?
I mean, like, there was good parts, but there was a lot of bad parts too. And honestly, at that time, like, I was super young, and coming off the show was a really tough time for me. Like, and I think for a lot of other contestants as well, a lot of us fell into like a depression for a few years, because it's just such a hard thing to go through, to like be on top, and then all of a sudden you're back at your waitressing job a month later. And you know, it's just one of those things where, and like a lot of it's out of your control. A lot of things are already, you know, determined before you even have a chance. And so, I mean, but at the same time, I did make a lot of good memories, a lot of close friends. You're out there with like all these different artists, and you're sequestered in a hotel, and it's pretty much like adult summer camp, and you meet so many talented people. But I mean, it also is like a very like compact like artist boot camp, because they're giving us vocal coaches to train with. We're meeting with lawyers. We are practicing. We are like, I mean, it's pretty much like artistry boot camp. To like, when you come out of the other side, you're kind of just like frazzled and bewildered of what just happened. But you did get a lot of like hard music industry training in the meantime. And I mean, like, also standing up on a stage and getting probably one of the biggest rejections you're ever going to get in your life, like that kind of, you know, builds character. So I mean, it kind of just made me stronger as a person. It kind of broke me down before it could make me stronger. But yeah, I mean, I always say that I'm glad I did it, but I would never do it again.
Never. You know what? I've heard that too before, that just reality TV show is not for them. You know what? That's fair. I don't think I could ever be on. I think I would just cry half of the time.
I did do that.
Yeah, see?
I think I cried before every performance, or really.
Yeah, because you're performing in front of a live audience, like there in that arena studio, but also to like millions of people watching as well.
Yeah,
right?
and you don't know what's going to happen. And you're like, if they make a fool out of me, like the whole freaking world is going to see it. And so it's just, you know, it was very stressful. And but you know, it was definitely a learning experience, and I get to use it on my resume now. Like, you know, around town, I can kind of say like, hey, I was on The Voice. And then, you know, if I'm trying to book something, people are like, oh, she probably doesn't suck if she was on The Voice at this point. So, you know, I use it for what I can, but you know, it was kind of a crazy experience overall.
Every opportunity that you can get, you just take. And that's what I think. Just put on the resume. That's what you got to do. Just keep adding stuff on, whether it's small, whether it's big, just keep putting it on. And then eventually when you go and apply for a job, like what you were saying, to go to get gigs, it really helps. It really does.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Let's get to know you a little bit more. So you grew up in South Carolina, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about your childhood. What made you want to get into music?
I mean, just as long as I can remember, I've always loved music. Like, I have tons of siblings. I have 10 siblings. And so, 10?
Oh my God, God bless your mother. Oh yeah. My God.
She's a saint. But I was always just the one like running around the house, annoying everybody, singing at the top of my lungs. I'd be in the shower, like belting a song out, or in my room, like when my parents were sleeping, like waking them up. Like, I was just always into music. And like, you know, I never really thought about it until honestly when I was on The Voice, and they kind of made me recap my life, because to me, it was just me. I was doing stuff I love. But looking back, like in elementary school, I wanted to be in every talent show. And then in middle school, I wanted to audition for all the leads in the plays. And then I wanted to be in chorus. And my dad is a musician as well, and he played guitar and sing. And so once he saw that I was super interested in it and I was trying to learn guitar, he gave me his guitar when I was 15. And that's really when I started like learning and writing a lot, and kind of just building that skill as well. So it all started when I was really young. Like, I always loved singing. I just remember even being on the school bus coming home and telling my mom about the music video that me and my friend like dreamt up on the bus that we were gonna like jump off a waterfall and swim with dolphins, and she was like, no, you're not.
That's so cute.
But I just always something I dreamt about. Like looking back, it was always something I wanted to do, and that was kind of just the start of my journey.
It's really funny because when you're like 2 years old, 3 years old, 4, like however old, the very first thing that like you have a passion for, whether it's like playing a certain sport or singing or playing nurse, that stays with you. Like it subconsciously stays with you. And as you grow older, maybe you think you want to be a lawyer, you want to be something else. You always come back to what you wanted to be as a kid. And it's so true, because even in my, like, for me, same thing, broadcasting, like ever since I was a kid, you singing, and you clearly had the arts in you. Like that's nuts. And your father too, he must have been a really big influence on you since he was already a musician as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my parents were missionaries, like all growing up. For me, we settled down in South Carolina when I was 5, but all of my siblings besides me and my little brother were born over in Europe because they were doing missionary work. And so they were all born in all these different kind of countries all over. And I just remember, because I was born here, but then we went back over for a little bit and then we settled down. But I have memories of like being in like old folks homes or like homeless shelters, like singing on stage and wanting to be in the front. And like, it's just all those things that like you can't make a kid do, but they're going to do it if they want to do it. Like I have friends who that'd be their worst nightmare, but for me, it's like, that's the kind of stuff that gives me like full body chills when I like write a line in a song that hits home, or I'm watching one of my favorite artists perform on TV. It just like, there's kind of stuff that like, you can't just force it on yourself. It's always been a part of you. So
yeah. And you had a very eventful life then. Like that's crazy. And you must have a lot of memories too. But so 10 siblings, there's 10 of you. Which one are you?
I'm second youngest. So I'm number 10, and then my little brother is number 11.
Oh, you're like the baby.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah,
I mean,
girl,
it was kind of less like Brady Bunch for me, because by the time I was like 16, everybody had grown up and moved out. And so like, it was really just like me and my little brother left in the house. So I definitely like my personal space. Like when I go home to visit my family, it's nice to see him for like a couple days, but after like day 2, I'm like getting a little claustrophobic. So
and how old are you exactly?
I'm 27.
27. And how old is your oldest sibling?
He's in his 40s. I'm not sure the exact age, but
oh, okay, wow. No, I like that. You have a nice big family. That's like, you always want that. Like just me, only child, and I wish that I had like a really big like brothers and sisters, but it's okay, close with my family, and that's all that matters when you're tight with your family, right?
yeah.
So who would you say were your musical influences? Who did you listen to a lot growing up?
I think the first country artist that I was like obsessed with was definitely Shania. I literally remember being 5 years old in the backyard, like my best friend being like, I'm Shania Twain. No, I'm Shania Twain. And we'd like argue over it like that. But I mean, I loved Shania. I loved like a lot of the pop influences growing up. But definitely, and then my mom loved to listen to like oldies like Stevie Nicks and Joni Mitchell. And I still like that's our favorite music to listen to together now. But I mean, Taylor Swift was, when I was 16, she was 20. And so like, that was a big phase for me with like writing about my life. Like once I picked it, that was around the time that I picked up the guitar. And so like, she was like an icon, which she still is. And so she had a huge influence on me as a teenager about like wanting to write about my feelings and my life and my love life. And so she was a big thing for me getting started in the, songwriting business.
Of course, Taylor Swift is incredible. Like the way that she can write songs, and they're so personal, but yet it doesn't sound like cliche. It flows so perfectly, and people can really connect with it. It's honestly an incredible gift, and to look up to her as an idol, that's awesome. Yeah, she's amazing. She's a really, really, really talented artist, and she's such a nice human being. I would love to meet her. I mean,
Oh,
maybe one day you and Taylor Swift are gonna write a song together. You never know. You gotta think big.
I would literally keel over and die. Like there'd be, I don't know if I like, she's like, being in Nashville and especially like working in the bar industry and serving for so many years, I got to see like a lot of celebrities and a lot of country music singers, and you know, I can keep my cool, but like she's like one of my top ones where I don't know if I could keep my cool. I think I would like cry. I don't even know if I'd be able to like make words. So I'm like, a part of me doesn't want to meet her just because I'm like, she's not going to understand. She's not going to understand because I'm just going to be crying and she won't even know what she means to me. So
That's fair. I feel like everybody has that one celebrity that they'll just go like goo goo gaga over and just completely lose all their words and like have the biggest brain fart ever.
yeah. So I'm almost like, I don't know if I should, but yeah, I've always kind of thought like if I ever do get to meet her, I'd love for it to be in like a music industry setting because that would just be full circle.
Yeah, of course. It really would. And so you were saying you worked in the bar industry for a while and
Oh,
you
yeah.
met like talent. You met country artists. And who's the biggest one that you've met?
I mean, there was tons. Luke Bryan, Chris Stapleton, Christina Aguilera. I mean, like I saw Shawn Mendes one time. I mean, like I worked there for years and years and years, and so like I mean, tons and tons of people like Jason Aldean.
Now,
I mean, just anybody.
do you work at the same bar or like a bunch of different ones?
I don't work there anymore, but I worked at the same place for 5 years, and so.
And that's where you met all these people. That bar.
Yeah.
What bar was this?
Whiskey Kitchen. It was like a restaurant bar, but it's in the Gulch. And so, I mean, I feel like it had its heyday. I don't feel like it's as like poppin' as it was anymore, you know, once upon a time. But yeah, I mean, over the course of years, like in Nashville, there's no paparazzi. And so the artists, they feel like they can walk around freely and just relax. And so you see a lot of them out just walking around.
There's no paparazzi?
No, it's like against the law here or something.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense because I've seen so many people take pictures of like celebrities like walking around on Broadway or going to like a breakfast place or so, and there's like nobody around. You go do that in LA, you're gonna have like 50 people up.
Oh yeah. No, I think it's against the law here, but I mean like now there's so many tourists, so like if anyone's gonna run up to them, it's probably gonna be tourists, but it's kind of like an unspoken Nashville rule that you leave them alone if you're like from here. So like they can like most of the artists can tell like who's from here and who's not by like who's running up in their face and who's like, kind of respecting their privacy. But no, I mean I've met a lot of cool, really nice people. Like Chris Stapleton was like a gem. I served him and his wife and I probably two like industry people, and he like left me $100 on like a small tab, and I'm just like, I kept the receipt too, and I was like, man, whenever I have money someday, I'm gonna be like that.
Of course. I know, to give back like that, like when you actually have the money to do it,
Yeah,
it's such a good feeling. Giving back, like you get like butterflies, like you know what I'm talking about, that like giddy feeling that you just can't really explain.
yeah, no, I love gift giving. It's like I feel like I can never save my money because anytime I get some money in my account, I'm like, I need to buy my friends presents. I need to send something to my mom. I need to like, I'm so bad about that.
Oh my God. So Christmas time, oh Lord, I could just imagine.
Really bad. I'm like no average gift to do. I'm like, it has to be extraordinary. And so then I end up like flat broke, but I'm still happy to see them open it up.
You'll still make money. It's okay. Every day is a new day. And Teresa, before I let you go, we're going to play a little game I like to call Country with Celine Rapid Fire. So I'm going to shoot you out a couple questions and then you answer them. Okay? Okay, so the first one, Instagram Reels or TikToks?
TikToks.
Starbucks or Dunkin' Donut?
Starbucks.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
What is your favorite memory that you can remember?
Probably the summer I was like 12 years old with my best friend. She lived by the lake and we just like ran around all summer with like no parental supervision. But yeah, it was like the best time ever.
That's awesome. And most embarrassing moment?
Oh, I have so many.
I love this question because we always get different answers all the time.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I literally like I embarrass myself like 10 times a day, so it's really hard. But I mean, probably when I got like kicked off national television in front of like millions of people and 4 celebrities, so that was really amazing. So I mean,
that one tops the cake. That one kind of tops.
that just comes to mind, you know.
How could that not, you know?
Oh, it haunts me. I'm just kidding. I've moved past it luckily at this point.
It haunts me just like that music box that just played.
I'm not okay with that still, but
okay, after we're finished this, you're just gonna like inspect that and just figure out what the heck.
You know, I'm gonna try to take your positive vibes with it, that it was, you know, it chimed when we were talking about me wanting to go overseas, so hopefully that was a little message from something good.
You know, honestly, it can be every little interesting little, what's that word that I'm looking for, where it kind of makes you skeptical, I guess. It when something happens and you look at it from 2 different views, like like the like I guess the realistic view, and the other is like, oh, but it could actually mean this, like, you know what I mean? I never know how to word
optimism.
That. Yeah, okay, that word goes. Thank you. But yeah, you know exactly what I mean then. And the last one, favorite TV show.
Oh, I have so many. I love, oh God, I mean, I have a million favorites. I love Desperate Housewives. That was like one of my OG favorites. I just finished watching that new Sex Life show on Netflix, and woo! Handmaid's Tale. I mean, there's so many. I love, like, me and my fiance love a good like binge watch of like a good show.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Outer Banks again. Have you watched the first season?
I started that one, but I kind of fell off of it. But I mean, I just have so many that I love that it's just like it's hard for me to choose.
How about Schitt's Creek? Have you ever watched that movie?
You know,
that TV show? No.
We started it and we like went through the whole season, but for some reason it just wasn't like doing it for me. Like everyone raves about it and they're like Schitt's Creek, but I'm like, it just wasn't doing it for me. Like if I'm gonna go for a comedy, I'd rather watch like New Girl. Like that show makes me like laugh so hard.
Yeah, when that show was actually on TV, I would like watch it here and there, and I would laugh. Zoe Deschanel, I think that was her name, right? Yeah, she's so funny. She's really
yeah. That show, it just gets me right in the funny bone. So definitely one of my favorites.
Well, thank you so much, Teresa, for joining me today on Country with Celine. I loved having you here. I think we got to do this again. Yeah, right? And everybody, go stream Paris. It is out now. I will link everything in my bio so you guys can check it all out. And thank you again, Teresa.
All right, thanks, Celine.
I wanna live 2 lives, blaze a trail.